Shalom. What's up, my he bros and she bros and my neighbors? How y'all doing today? All 0 of you. Very good. Oh, me too. Well, that's awesome. Good to know. Well, here we are back in the book of Job for part 2. Yesterday we read chapters 1 through 14. Let me turn this off. I hope that didn't interfere with my audio. Microphone check 1 2. Nobody to give me any feedback, but that's okay. We're just gonna trust that it's all good to go. All right. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, Moose, you're not here for the first time, but you are back. Thanks for being here, brother. This is the Snowball Bible reading plan, which, if you're wondering why I would call it that, it's because I read the book Financial Peace by Dave Ramsey, and he talks about, maybe that's not the book he talked about it in, but talks about the snowball plan of paying off your debt. And what you do is you take the smallest debt and you pay it off as fast as you can. You make the largest payments you can every month. It is a good book. And then after you pay off that debt, you take the money that you were paying on that smallest debt and you start paying that along with whatever you were paying on your debt previously to the second smallest debt. Wow, I did not realize that you guys were ever that deep in debt. That's amazing. Congratulations, that is a huge accomplishment to pay off $250K in debt. Awesome. Yeah. So anyways, long story short, you start knocking down the small ones and then you work your way all the way up to the big kahuna debt pile, right? So this is a lot funner because it's not debt, and it's the Word of God, and it's more valuable than all the money that you could save in the whole world in a million lifetimes. So we started with the smallest books of the Bible, and we just started building momentum, right? We started reading all the small books. Boom, 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 boom. Creating good habits along the way. For me, I'm getting more fluent at reading and creating, better habits of reading every day. And I'm ashamed to tell you that I didn't read every day. I did listen to audiobook or audio Bible almost every day. But I didn't read ever, like literally never. And I would just listen to audiobooks all the time. I still listen to audiobooks a lot. And when I say I read the book Financial Peace by Dave Ramsey, what I mean by that is I listened to that book on audio with Dave Ramsey reading it, which is way better than me reading it because he reads better than I do, and he wrote the book. Shalom, Jacqueline Hembry. Thanks for being here. Anyways, that's my little ramble. I'm just going to let a couple more people jump on before I start reading. I went and got this little light deal so that I can see better, but it's kind of blinding me. There we go. A little brighter. All right. Got 2 people here. We're going to get some more, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Let people know we're here and we're doing this. I appreciate it. We are almost to 1,000 subs, which is exciting. I don't know what that means, but it's 1,000 subs, and that's cool because we started at the bottom. Now we're here, and yeah, it's good. It's good to be almost at 1,000 subs. That night I'll sleep really good. No, I don't think it'll change my life at all whatsoever, but it'll be cool. I'll be like, dude, 1,000 subs, and then I'll go on about my life. But yep. We're going to read chapters 15. Where are we reading to? Chapters 15 to 28 today. And then we will come back tomorrow for part 3, and I will wish you all a very happy Shabbat. Okay. Anything cool happening in your guys' lives today? I'll tell you what we did today. We had to go get an air conditioner for our house because yesterday, with the air conditioner running full blast, it was 85 degrees in our house. And my wife is hecka prego and was like, I can't do this. And it's going to get hotter, so we had to get a better air conditioner. And so, yeah, we went and did that. And we found an awesome air conditioner at Costco. And 1,200 or 12,000 BTUs really does the trick. So, and I went and got a new battery for my Volvo because my battery died. And yeah, what else? We dropped off some packages, took my neighbor to drop off his truck, and it was a busy day running around. Feel like did a lot but didn't get much done. But yeah, the air conditioner is it's a lifesaver, and I felt like it was a good investment to keep the house cool and everybody happy. Looks like it's just me and you, Jacqueline. Let's go ahead and get started reading. Chapter 15, Book of Job. I'm reading out of the Scriptures on page 767. All right, and Eliphaz the Temanite answered. A little recap. So, Job is just totally miserable, lost everything, covered in sores from head to toe. Oh, good, Moose, you're here, bro. Thanks. It says one person, but clearly there's two. But Moose, sorry, not Moose. Moose, thank God it's not you that was covered head to toe with sores. Job was covered head to toe with sores, and then his friends came by and started letting him know how they don't believe him, that he didn't do something. Like, he must have done something to deserve this. And they're pretty much harassing him at this point. And please no. Exactly. So they're all taking turn. They're kind of having a back and forth. There's 3 friends that came to visit, and they've had back and forths. And now it's Eliphaz's turn to be like, hey, God doesn't punish the unjust. And, that's true. However, this was the work of Satan. Let's just keep that in mind. Okay, chapter 15. And Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, would a wise man answer with vain knowledge, or fill his belly with the east wind? Would he reason with useless talk, or by speeches with which do not profit? Indeed, you do away with reverence and withhold prayer before El. For your crookedness teaches your mouth what to say, and you choose the tongue of the crafty. Not I, but your own mouth condemns you, and your own lips witness against you. Were you the first one born, or were you before the hills? Have you heard the secret counsel of Eloah? And do you limit wisdom to yourself? What do you know that we do not know? What do you know that we do not know? Understand that it is not within us. Understand that is it not within us? Sorry, it is cold in here. I'm gonna turn this up away from me. There we go. I'm sitting right in front of an air conditioner. Praise Yah. Okay. What do you know that we do not know? Understand that is not within us. Both the gray-haired and the aged are among us. much older than your father. Are the comforter are the comforts of El not enough for you, and a word that deals gently with you? What have you taken what have you taken to heart, and why do your what have you taken to heart, and why do your eyes flash? Sorry. A little bit more brightness. I can't see. There we go. Sorry guys. Verse 13. Here we go. Hey, Brady. Shalom, brother. Yes, you do have some gray hair, but that's a crown of wisdom, okay? So that's a good thing. So what verse 13, that you should turn, or let's go back a verse. What have you taken to heart, and what do your eyes flash? That you should turn your spirit against El, and let such words go out of your mouth. What is man that he should be clean, and one born of a woman that he should be righteous? Look, he puts no trust in his set apart ones, and the heavens are not clean in his eyes. How much less one who is loathsome and corrupt, drinking unrighteousness like water? Let me show you, hear me, and this I have seen and declare, which the wise declare and have not hidden from their fathers. To them alone the land was given, and no stranger passed over into their midst. All the days of the wrong one he is painting himself, and few years have been stored up for the ruthless. A frightening sound is in his ears. In peace a destroyer comes to him. He believes not to return from darkness, and he is reserved for the sword. He wanders about for food. Where is it? He knows that a day of darkness is prepared for him. Distress and pain frighten him. They overwhelm him like a sovereign ready for the attack, because he has stretched out his hand against El and acts mightily against the Almighty. He runs against him defiantly with thick bossed shields. For he has covered his face with his fatness, and he has put layers of fat on his loins. But he dwells in ruined cities, in houses which no one lives in, which have been ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, and his wealth shall not rise, and his possessions shall not overspread the earth. He does not turn away from darkness. The flame dries up his branches, and he turns aside by the breath of his mouth. Let him not trust in falsehood, deceiving himself, for falsehood is his reward. Before his day it is accomplished, and his branch shall not be green. He shakes off the unripe grape like a vine, and throws off his blossom like an olive tree. For the company of the defiled ones is barren, and fire consumes the tent of bribery. They conceive trouble and bring forth wickedness. Even their womb prepares deception. Chapter 16. And Job answered and said, I have heard many matters like these. All of you are comforts of trouble. Is there an end to words of wind? Or what provokes you that you answer? I might also speak like you if I were in my place. If you were in my place, I might heap up words against you and shake my head at you. I might strengthen you with my mouth, and my moving lips might bring relief. So now he's contrasting. I might strengthen you with my mouth, and my moving lips might bring relief. If I speak, my pain is not relieved, and if I refrain, it does not leave me. But now he has wearied me. You have stunned all my company, and you have plucked me, and it is a witness, and my failure rises up against me. It bears witness to my face. He has torn in his wrath, and he hates me. He has gnashed at me with his teeth. My adversary sharpens his eyes upon me. They open wide their mouths at me in scorn, and they have stricken my cheeks. That they mass themselves together against me. El has handed me over to the perverse, and cast me into the hands of the wrong. I was at ease, but he broke me, and he took me by my neck and shattered me, and he has set me up for his target. His archers surround me. He splits my kidneys in two and does not spare. He pours out my bile on the ground. He made a breach on me, breach upon breach. He runs upon me like a mighty man. I sewed sackcloth over my skin and laid my horn in the dust. My face is reddened from weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. Though no violence was on my hand, and my prayer sincere. O earth, do not cover my blood, and let my cry have no resting place. See, even now my witness is in the heavens, and my defender is on high. My friends are they that scorn me. My eyes pour out tears to Eloah. Oh, that one might plead for a man with Eloah, as a man with his neighbor. When a few years are past, then I shall go the way of no return. Chapter 17. My spirit has been broken. My days have been extinguished. Burial sites are for me. Truly mockeries are with me, and my eye rests on their insults. Please lay down a pledge for me with yourself. Who would strike hands with me? For you have hidden their heart from understanding. Therefore you do not exalt them. He who denounces friends for a share, even the eyes of his children shall fail. But he has made me a byword of the people, whereas in former times I was a drum. And from sorrow my eye has grown dim, and all my members are like shadows. Upright ones are astonished at this, and the innocent stirs himself up against the defiled one, and the righteous holds to his way, and he who has clean hands becomes stronger and stronger. But please come back again, all of you, for I do not find a wise one among you. My days have passed by, my plans have been broken off. The desires of my heart, they would turn the desire. My days have passed by, my plans have been broken off. The desires of my heart, they would turn night into day, saying that light is near, in the presence of darkness. If I wait, Sheol is my house. I shall make my bed in darkness. I shall say to corruption, you are my father. To the worm, you are my mother and my sister. Where then is my expectancy? As for my expectancy, who would see it? Would it sink down into Sheol? Would we together go down into the dust? Chapter 18. And Bildad the Shuhite answered and said, when do you put an end to words? Understand, and let us then talk. Why would we be reckoned as beasts, as stupid in your eyes? You who tear yourself into pieces in displeasure, would the earth be shaken for your sake, or the rock move from its place? Indeed, the light of the wrong goes out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light shall be dark in his tent, and his lamp beside him is put out. The steps of his strength are impeded, and his own counsel overthrows him. For he is sent into a net by his own feet, and he walks on a pitfall. The net seizes his heel. A snare prevails over him. A noose is hidden on the ground for him, and a trap for him in the path. Alarms frighten him on all sides and chase him at his heels. His strength is starved, and calamity is ready at his side. It devours parts of his skin, and it devours parts of his skin. The firstborn of death devours his parts. He has torn from the shelter of his tent, and they parade him before the sovereign of alarms. In his tent dwells that which is none of his. Brimstone is scattered on his house. His roots below dry up, and his branch is cut off above. Remembrance of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name on the street. They thrust him from light into darkness and chase him out of the world. He leaves no offspring or descendant among his people, nor any survivor in his dwellings. Those in the west are astonished at his day, as those in the east are frightened. Indeed, such are the dwellings of the perverse, and this is the place of him who does not know El. Chapter 19. And Job answered and said, How long would you grieve my life and crush me with words? These 10 times you have insulted me. Shamelessly you attack me. Even if I have truly gone astray, my straying remains with me. If indeed you would exalt yourself above me and plead against me my reproach, know then that Eloah has overthrown me and has surrounded me with his net. See, I cry violence, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no right ruling. He has fenced up my way, and I pass not over. And he has placed darkness in my paths. He has stripped me of my esteem and taken the crown from my head. He breaks me down on every side, and I am gone, and uproots my expectancy like a tree. And he kindled his wrath against me, and he counts me as one of his enemies. His companies come together, and they cast up their way against me, and encamp all around my tent. He has removed my brothers far away from me, and my friends are completely estranged from me. My near ones have fallen away, and my close friends have forgotten me. Those sojourning in my house and my female servants reckon me for a stranger. I am a foreigner in their eyes. I have called my servant, but he gives no answer. I have to beg him with my mouth. My spirit is strange to my wife, and my loving commitment to the children of my own body. Even young children have scorned me. I rise, and they speak against me. All my intimate friends loathe me, and those whom I love turned against me. My bone clings to my skin and to my flesh, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. Show favor to me, O you my friends, for the hand of Eloah has struck me. Why do you persecute me like El does, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were written down. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book, engraved on a rock with an iron pen and lead forever. And I know that my Redeemer lives, and as the last shall rise over the dust, and after my skin has been struck off, then in my flesh I shall see Eloah, whom I myself shall see on my side, with not a stranger. My kidneys have failed within me. If you say, Why do you persecute him, seeing the root of the matter has been found in me? Fear the sword yourself, for wrath brings the punishment of the sword, so that you know there is a punishment. Then Sophar the Naamathite answered and said, Truly my thoughts make me respond, even because of my haste within me. I have listened to the reproof which insults me, and the spirit of my understanding makes me answer. You have known this of old, since man was placed on earth, that the singing of the wrong is short-lived, and the joy of the defiled one is but for a moment. Although his pride mounts up to the heavens, and the head does reach to the clouds, he perishes forever, like his own dung. Those who have seen him say, "Where is he?" He flies away like a dream, and is not found, and he is driven away like a vision of the night. Eyes that saw him do so no more, nor does his place see him any more. His sons seek the favor of the poor, and the hands give back his wealth. His bones shall be filled with his youth, but it lies down with him in the dust. Though evil is sweet in his mouth, he hides it under his tongue. Though he fondles it and does not forsake it, but still keeps it in his mouth. His food is turned in his stomach. The bitterness of cobras is in him. He has swallowed down riches, then vomits them up. El drives it out of his stomach. He sucks the poison of cobras. The tongue of the poisonous snake kills him. He looks not on streams, the rivers flowing with honey and cream. He is giving back what he labored for, and does not eat it. Like wealth from his trade, but he does not enjoy. For he has oppressed, he has forsaken the poor. He has seized a house which he did not build. For he shall not know ease in his innermost, neither save what he desires. There is no leftover after he has eaten. Therefore his good does not last. With all the plenty with all his plenty he is in distress. The hand of every laborer comes against him. It shall be at the filling of his stomach that he casts on him his burning wrath, and rains it down on him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, a bronze bow pierced through him. It is drawn and comes out of the body, and the gleaming point comes out of his gall. Fear comes upon him, and darkness waits for his treasures. A fire not blown consumes him. It destroys what remains in his tent. The heavens reveal his crookedness, and the earth rises up against him. The increase of his house departs, overflowing away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion from Elohim, for a wrong man, and the heritage El has decreed for him. Hold a sec. The sun went down. It's hard to see now. And Job answered and said, "Listen closely to my word, and let this be your comfort. Bear with me and let me speak. And after I have spoken, keep mocking. As for me, is my complaint against man? And why should I not be impatient? Look at me and be appalled. Then put your hand on your mouth. And when I consider it, I am frightened, and my body shudders. Why do the wrong live, become old, and become mighty in power? Their seed is established with them before their face, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are peace without fear, neither is the rod of Eloah upon them. Their bull breeds and does not fail, their cow calves without miscarriage. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They sing to the tambourine and lyre, and rejoice to the sound of the flute. They spend their days in goodness, and in a moment go down to Sheol. And they say to El, "Turn aside from us, for we have no desire to know your ways." Who is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit do we have if we pray to him? See, is there good not in their own hand? The counsel of the wrong has been far from me. How often is the lamp of the wrong put out, and does come upon their calamity, and how often is the lamp of the wrong put out, and does come upon their calamity. Sorrows he allots in his displeasure. They are like straw before the wind, and like chaff that a storm steals away. You say, Eloah stores up one's wickedness for his children. Let him repay him so that he knows it. Let his eyes see his destruction, and let him drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what is his delight in his house after him, when the number of his new moons is cut off? Does anyone teach El knowledge, since he judges those that are exalted? One dies in his perfect strength, completely at ease and satisfied. His pails are filled with milk, and his bones are juicy with marrow. Another one dies in the bitterness of his being, and never eats with pleasure. Together they lie down in the dust, and worms cover them. Look, I know your thoughts, and the plots with which you would wrong me. For you say, There is the house of the noble. Where is the house of the noble one? And where is the tent, the dwelling place of the wrong ones? Have you not asked those passing by the way? And do you not know their signs? That the wicked is kept for the day of calamity. They are brought to the day of wrath. Who declares his way to his face, and who repays him for what he has done? As for him, he is brought to the burial site, and a watch is kept over the heap. The clods of the wadi shall be sweet to him, and all men follow him. Innumerable are those before him. How then do you comfort me in vain, seeing what perverseness remains in your answers? Chapter 22. And Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, Would a strong man be of use to El? Even he who is wise be used to him. Even he who is wise be of use to him. Is it a delight to the Almighty that you are righteous? Or gain that you make your ways perfect? Is it because of your fear of him that he reproves you, or enters into right ruling with you? Is not your evil great, and is there no end to your crookedness? For you take pledge from your brother for naught, and strip the naked of their garments. You do not give the weary water to drink, and you have withheld bread from the hungry. But the man of strength, he has the earth, and the highly respected man dwells in it. You have sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless are crushed. Therefore snares are all around you, and sudden fear alarms you. O darkness, so that you do not see, and a flood of water covers you. Is not Eloah in the height of heaven? And see the highest stars, how lofty they are? And you have said, What does El know? Would he judge through the dark cloud? Clouds screen him, so that he does not see, and he moves about the circuit of the heavens. Do you observe the old way which wicked men have trod, who were cut down before their time? Those foundations were swept away by a flood. Who were cut down before their time, whose foundations were swept away by a flood. They said to El, Turn aside from us. And what did the Almighty do to them? Yet he filled their houses with the good, but the counsel of the wrong has been far from me. The righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent mock at them and say, Truly our adversaries are cut off, and fire has consumed their excess. Be of service to him, and be at peace. thereby blessing shall come to you. Please accept the Torah from his mouth and lay up his words in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you are built up. If you remove unrighteousness far from your tents, and lay your gold in the dust, and the gold of Ophir among the stones of the wadis, then the Almighty shall be your gold, and your silver strengthen you. Then you shall certainly delight in the Almighty, and lift up your face to Eloah. Make your prayers to him, and he shall hear you, and you shall pay your vows. And whatever you decide on shall be established for you, and light shine on your ways. For they have made low, and you say, Up, and he saves the lowly of eyes. Would he deliver one who is not innocent? Why do the cleanness of your hand so by the cleanness of your hands you shall be delivered. Chapter 23. And Job answered and said, If today my complaint is bitter, my hand is heavy on account of my groaning. If only I knew where to find him, I would come to his dwelling place. I would present my case before him, and fill my mouth with proofs. I would know the words which he would answer me, and understand what he would say to me. Would he contend with me in great power? No, but he would pay attention to me. There the upright might reason with him, and I would go safe forever from my judge. See, I go forward, and he is not, and backward, but I do not perceive him. To the left, where is he working? But I do not see him. He turns to the right, but I do not see. For he knows the way that I take when he has tried me. I would come forth as gold. My foot has held fast to his steps. I have guarded my ways and did not turn aside. I have not strayed from the command of his lips. I have treasured the words of his mouth more than my own law. But he is one, and who does turn him? And he does whatever his being has desired, for he makes complete my law, and many like these are with him. Therefore I am troubled at his presence. I consider I am afraid of him. For El has made me faint-hearted, and the Almighty has alarmed me, because I was not cut off before darkness, and from my face he has covered the thick with and from my face he has covered the thick darkness. Chapter 24. Times are not hidden from the Almighty, and why have not those who know him see his days? Times are not hidden from the Almighty, and why have not those who know him seen his days? They remove landmarks, they rob and feed on flocks. They drive away the donkey of the fatherless, and take the widow's ox as a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way. The poor of the earth have hidden together. See, as wild donkeys in the wilderness, they go about their tasks, eager seekers with prey. The desert gives his bread for the children. They reap his fodder in the field, and they glean the vineyard of the wrong. They spend the night naked, without a garment, and without covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the hills, and have embraced a rock for lack of shelter. They snatch away the fatherless from the breasts, and take a pledge from the poor. Naked they shall go about with it, without a garment, and hungry they shall take away sheaves. They press out oil within their walls. Wine presses they shall tread, yet suffer thirst. Men groan in the city, and the beings of the wounded cry out, and Eloah does not regard it as foolish. But they have become rebels against the light, and they have not known his ways nor remained in his paths. The murderers rise at daylight,
He kills the poor and needy, and in the night he is as a thief. And the eye of the adulterer watches for dusk, saying, no eye sees me. And he puts a covering on his face. In the dark he has broken into houses, and by day shuts themselves up. They have not known light. For all of them mourning is the same as the shadow of death. when he discerns the extreme when he discerns the extreme fears of the shadow of death, he is swift on the face of the waters. Their portion is crushed in the earth. He does not turn into the way of vineyards. Drought and heat snatch away snow waters, shield those who have sinned. The womb forgets him, and worms feed sweetly on him. He is remembered no more, and wickedness is broken like a tree. Treating evil the barren who does not bear. Excuse me. Where was I? I don't know. I'll go to verse 20. The worm forgets him. The womb forgets him. The worm feeds sweetly on him. He is remembered no more. The wickedness is broken like a tree, treating evil the barren who does not bear, and does no good for the widow. But he draws the mighty away with his power. He rises up, and no one is certain of life. He gives him safety, and he leans on it. Yet his eyes are on their ways. They are lifted up for a little while, then they are gone. Then they shall be brought low. Like all else, they are gathered up, and they are cut off like the heads of grain. And if it is not so, who does prove me a liar, and make my word worthless? Excuse me. Hope I got it that time. Hope so. Chapter 25. And Bildad the Shuhite answered and said, rule and fear belong to him, making peace in his high places. Is there any number to his armies? And on whom does his light not rise? So how could man be righteous before El? Or how could he be flawless who is born of a woman? See, even the moon does not shine, and the stars have not been flawless in his eyes. How much less man, a maggot, and a son of man, a worm. Chapter 26. And Job answered and said, how are you helped with powerless, saved in arm not strong? How have you given counsel to the unwise, or declared sound advice to many? With whom have you spoken words, and whose spirit came from you? The dead wait, those under the waters, and those inhabiting them. Sheol is naked and before him, and destruction has no covering. He it was who stretched out the north over emptiness, hanging the earth upon space, binding up waters in his thick clouds, and the cloud is not torn under them, covering the surface of his throne, spreading his cloud over it, a law of encirclement on the face of the waters until the end of light with darkness. The columns of the heavens tremble and are stunned at his reproof. By his power he has calmed the sea, and by his understanding he struck down Rahab. By his spirit he adorned the heavens, and By his spirit he adorned the heavens. His hand whirled the fleeing serpent. See, these are the fringes of his ways, and how little a matter is heard of him, and who understands the thunder of his power. Chapter 27. And Job again took up his discourse and said, As El lives, who has turned aside my right ruling, and the Almighty who has made my life bitter, as long as my breath is in me, and the spirit of Eloah in my nostrils. My lips do not speak unrighteousness, nor my tongue utter deceit. Far be it from me that I grant that you are right. Until I die, I would not turn aside my integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast, and I do not let it go. My heart does not reproach me as long as I live. Let my enemy be like the wrongdoer, and he who rises up against me like the unrighteous. For what is the expectancy of the defiled one when he does cut off, when Eloah takes away his life? Would El hear his cry when distress comes upon him? Would he delight himself in the Almighty? Call on Eloah at all times. Let me teach you by the hand of El that which is with the Almighty. I do not hide. See all that you have. See all of you have seen it. Why then are you altogether vain? This is the portion of the wrong man with El, and the inheritance of cruel ones, which they receive from the Almighty. If his children are increased, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not have enough to eat. Those who remain of him are bruised in death, and their widows do not weep. Though he heaps up silver like dust, and lays up garments like clay, he lays up, but the righteous puts it on, and the innocent divides the silver. He built his house like a moth, like a booth which a watchman made. He lies down, a rich man, but he is not gathered. When he opens his eyes, it is no more. Alarm overtakes him like a flood. A storm wind shall steal him away in the night. The east wind takes him away, and he is gone, for it sweeps him from his place, and it hurls itself against him and does not spare. He swiftly flees from its power. It claps its hands at him. It hisses him out of his place. Chapter 28. Indeed, there is a mine for silver, and a place where gold is refined. Iron is taken from the earth, and copper is smelted from ore. An end to darkness he has set, and to every limit he is searching. To rocks in deepest darkness, he opens a shaft far from the sojourner. They are forgotten by feet. They hang far away from men. They swing to and fro. Earth, out of which grows food, is turned underneath as by fire. Its stones are the place of sapphires, and it has dust of gold. No bird of prey knows the path, nor has the hawk's eye seen it. The proud beasts have not trodden it, nor has the fierce lion passed over it. He puts his hand on the flint and shall overturn the mountain of the roots. He cuts the channels in the rocks, and his eye sees every precious gem. He dams up the sources of the rivers, and he brings to light what is hidden. Wisdom, where is it found? And where is the place of understanding? Man does not know its value, and is not found in the land of the living. The deep has said, It is not in me. and the sea has said, "It is not with me." Gold is not given for it, nor silver weighed out in its price. It is not valued in gold of Ophir, in precious shoham, or sapphire. Gold or crystal are not to be compared with it, nor is it exchanged for a vessel of fine gold. No mention is made of coral or crystal, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Cush is not to be compared with it, nor is it valued in clean gold. And wisdom, from where does it come? And where is the place of understanding? It has been hidden from the eyes of all living, and concealed from the birds of the heavens. Destruction and death have said, "With our ears we have heard a report of it." Elohim has understood its way, and he has known its place. For he looks to the ends of the earth, sees under all the heavens, making a weight for the wind, and measure out of waters by measure. When he made a law for the rain, and a way for the lightning of thunder, then he saw wisdom and declared it. He prepared it and also searched it out. And he said to man, "See the fear of Yahweh, that is wisdom, and turn from evil, and to turn from evil is understanding." Oh boy, oh boy. A lot of back and forth there with Job and his buddies. Good buddy old pals they are. Just there to uplift and encourage, aren't they? Well, thank you guys once again for hanging out with me and listening to me read the Bible. We got one more video to close out the book of Job, and we will go ahead and do that live stream tomorrow evening. Might have to hit it around 7 o'clock tomorrow. And yeah, love you guys. Thanks again. We will catch you all in the next video. Shalom.